Continuing with my NBA preview, next, this is a team that I'm very conflicted about because I want to watch them, and everybody's excited, and they might actually have the MVP this year, and this is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who's in the third slot for me, and they can end up as high as number 2 in this division, and it wouldn't surprise me. I number 1, I have Portland, the team that's actually in the Northwest. But obviously, let's first of all, there's obviously the KD drama and everything that happened, but let's go back to the beginning, or with this team. Steven Adams, great year last year. Russell Westbrook, he's a monster and should be a monster this year in the running for the MVP, as I stated earlier. And then you have that bringing in a Victor Oladipo, who seemingly didn't fit with the youth movement and development in Orlando, which brought over Sabonis as well, and I don't know how that's going to work out with him and Kanter. They seem to have a lot of the same problems. Both are not good defensively. At least Sabonis was not in college. He was not known as a defensive player. They rebound, they score. So how is that going to happen with the overlap? And while this is an interesting experiment, I also want to see how Billy Donovan develops this year. I mean, last year it seemingly was like, make sure KD stays. This year, do we see him more develop his own style, his own way, his own method to making sure that the Thunder get back into the playoffs, and not just barely by their teeth in the playoffs, but like 5th, 6th, or maybe even better. And I think you might see a more freer version of him and his staff. A team that's willing to take the training wheels off a little bit from themselves and move forward. And then, obviously, when you're going with Russell Westbrook, the ride is going to be fun. Now, coming back to the whole Kevin Durant leaving them, obviously everyone has an opinion. I have an opinion as well. My thing is, I don't like it. And the only reason for that is because I think sports are about competition and being entertaining, and people are going to say, well, the Warriors are going to play fun style, and they can, yeah, but it's an eventuality in all likelihood. Everyone is saying Cavs versus Warriors, eventuality. I don't watch sports to be for eventuality. I watch sports to be entertained, to be surprised a little bit, I understand that the NBA is the least surprising of all the leagues, but to be surprised a little bit, to have different players and headlines and everything. If you want eventuality, that's great. Go watch a movie, is my opinion. I'm here to have. I want to see, or I wanted to see, excuse me, what would have happened. Warriors, Thunder, round 2. Durant, can he overcome the failure that they did? Him and Westbrook had, particularly games 5 through 7. If you watch them, they both were the reasons why the Thunder collapsed and didn't get through. Could they pull like a Spurs with what the Spurs did against the Heat? Remember, they lost the first time around, and they seemed to be on a mission to seek and destroy everything about the Miami Heat, and they did so particularly in games 3 through 5, where they blew the doors off of Miami. I wanted to see if Oklahoma City could replicate that, and if you remember, with passing Muhammad Ali in the ring, when you think about his greatest fights, you think about number 1, the trilogy versus Joe Frazier. That got taken away from us, and it's leading to a situation where there's eventuality, and I'm not happy about that. But the thing that I want to see this year, the one thing I want to see is Russell Westbrook driving down the lane, Kevin Durant waiting for him at the rim, and do we see Kevin Durant on the poster, getting dunked on, getting memed on, the crying Kevin Durant coming all over the place, or does he get the last say against his former running mate by rejecting him at the rim? That's the one thing I want to see. November 3rd. I think it's November 3rd when they first play at Oracle, or maybe at any point during the season, even if it's in the playoffs. That's what I want to see. I want to see the climax. Maybe that'll give us something that, unfortunately, the rematch that didn't happen can't.